All right, folks, what I want to talk about is how to get your body straight at the last minute when you're getting down close to being ready to get down to your door jambs and being ready to paint the car. You want to take a wash and dry cloth like you buy at your paint supply store. You want to take the wax and grease remover here. You need the right amount of light, not too bright, because you notice I don't have that one on, because you want some shadow here. So what you want to do is you want to wipe this stuff on the panel. And then you want to get down and you want to look at it. And what this imitates is clear coat. Okay, this will give you a very good indication of where you're at on your body work and getting it straight. This is not as critical on a white car or a beige car, something that's not gonna be critical on being arrow straight. You still want it as good as possible, and I'd probably be doing this if this car was going to be bright white, but because it's not even mine, it's a customer car. I want to make sure it's right. But my station wagon, if you follow that, I've got a few videos on it, but it's going to be white. So I'm not going to, and being my own personal car, I'm not going to probably do, some of this last minute. I'm gonna make sure it's nice, but it's gonna be a driver road trip car, so it don't have to be perfect. Although I don't know how to not do anything perfect. But my point is, on a dark colored car, this pays dividends, because you'll block a car, you'll guide coat it, put plenty of guide coat, you'll guide coat it, you'll block it, and then when you get down, everything sands out. But then when you have water sprayed on it, you can also use water to do this, but of course it's about 30 degrees today. So this also provides a thinner film, so the water is bad about filling in some of the more broad dents if you're not careful. I would recommend using the pre-paint cleaner. This is a real pain to do in the summertime because the pre-paint cleaner dries very fast. In the summer months, I rely on the water a lot more. But what you want to do, and I'm trying to show you, but basically this finds ripples that you really didn't know were there in the panel. And you can see the reflection in the camera. Okay, that's how straight this car is going to be once it's painted and cut and buffed. That is imitating a clear coated surface. See the reflection? So basically we're going to get down, we're going to look, and you're going to see how straight that panel is. Okay, this panel looks really nice. Unfortunately the other side's not that way, and I'll explain here in a minute. And what you want to do to remind yourself, yeah, that one there is dang near perfect. Got one little dent right here. It actually showed up in the guide coat. Little door ding I missed. So what I have found on the other side is I found a ripple here I can actually feel with my hand that sanded out in the guide coat. There's a little ripple there. It's going to have to be skim coated. Right here, there's a ripple from here where the body goes up to about here. That's going to have to be skim coated. I done skim coated this and got the ripple out from here to here. It was a ripple here. It went out at a point. I had to beat on it with the body hammer. It was actually a swelled area here. And then from here to about here, I just don't like the transition coming in from the contour as it flattens out. And you can feel some discrepancy there. And there's actually some waves. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm just not happy. It looks kind of perfect on the camera, but I can feel a little discrepancy with my hand. So if you look at it a certain way, it's giving a wave, and I just don't like it. I'm very, very, very picky when it comes to this body work, but that's how you find. And then what you want to do is you want to take your masking tape and you want to mark where you've got to wipe. So there's also a discrepancy in this body line here. You can actually see that if you're careful. It comes down and goes back up a little bit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to wipe this area, and I'm going to have to bring this line up just a bit. And I knew about that, and I thought I'd gotten it out with all the other body work that had to be done in this area, but it still didn't completely go away. It was really bad at first. When this car had the shiny paint on it, somebody that's not even good at telling body work could have saw it. Now it really takes some time to see it, but you can see it, I think, on this video. Follow it down, and dips up a little bit. Just ever so slightly. Most people would never notice that. On a dark colored car though, that's gonna show. So we got a little more work here, skim coat on the edge. There's an area, a ripple here, skim coat here. There's a dent that I can actually feel right here. That I gotta feel, and then skim coat from here down. So a little more body work to do. I'm pretty confident once this is done, re-2K it, re-320, the car will be ready for paint. Car's dangerously close. I've got to wipe these fenders with the prep clean, look at them, but these fenders will do their own thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till the fenders, because they're so flimsy, mounted back on the car, bolted in place, and then I'm gonna wipe it with pre-paint cleaner, look at the fenders. And you can take this advice for any, especially these cars with these flimsy big panels, like your Monte Carlos especially, with these flat body lines. They're worse about ripples when you bolt them in to the inner fender than say a rounded panel like a 55 Chevy would be, because it's a lot more substantial. The way these panels are made by design, they're more flimsy in areas like here and here. Just about every Monte fender, if it's never been in a crash, never been touched, I'll have to skim coat this area and this area because there's a ripple there. Same thing with these quarters. There's always a ripple here and there's a ripple here. That's from the factory that way. There's nothing you can do about it except fill it in. So a lot of times we have to find ourselves skim coating the tops of these fenders. I think I did that. Most of the surface area of these fenders and these doors, trunk lid, were all skim coated and blocked. Luckily that hood was very straight. I've got a few low spots that I've got to skim coat, but otherwise the replacement factory hood was good. So anyway, just wanted to give you an update. This is kind of where we're at on the convertible, but also more than not, this is a kind of a tech video. How to get all your ripples out. Well, again, pre-paint cleaner, wax and grease remover. It's real slimy, and in the cooler months, it hangs on the panel long enough to be able to watch it. There's also wax and grease removers that stay wet longer, that don't quite evaporate as fast. This being one of them, you can see how long this is staying on there. But even in the summertime, you can do short areas and don't have a fan blowing or anything, but that's what you need to do. So anyway, hope that helps you. I think it'll help you. I don't know if anyone else has talked about that or not, but it's just one of the tricks I use. I was actually told that by a good friend of mine. So that was one of the first things we used to do, is wipe the panel down with this and look at it. Even after we had it wet, we would still do this to look and find maybe a more not as noticeable ripple that water would hide, because water runs down and you got to wait a minute for the water. If you've got a streak in the water, it can throw you off. So this here, pretty surefire way to find all your ripples. Getting real close on this car. Next project will be a 56 Chevy 4-door hardtop. So keep a watch for that. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.